Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is NonRevSims, and welcome to another Sims 3 speed build. Yes, I'm doing another speed build, which is really great. I haven't done one in a minute since, what was the last one uploaded, or when was the last one uploaded? It was my Sims 3 beach house. I don't even remember when I put that up, but if you are an old subscriber, you would have known, or you would know that speed builds were my thing. Like, I never did LPs, I never did creative sim videos. Like, speed building was my jam, and I kind of did that because I wanted to explore things in the Sims 3 that I had never explored before. Like, I'm still not a builder. I don't think I'm that good of a builder, but when I first played Sims 3, I've played Sims 3 since 2009 when it first came out, but when I first played it, I never built anything in the game because I was too afraid of build mode. Like, that build mode used to intimidate the stuff out of me. So I wanted to make sure as a way of making myself more comfortable with building in the Sims 3, I wanted to make a channel that, my primary thing was going to be building or speed builds. So just to get myself a little more comfortable with building things when I needed it, because there were some times where I needed certain lots or certain rooms, certain things, and there weren't things available. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to build it myself. So that's pretty much why I started building on this channel. And now that I've gotten more comfortable with build mode, I've had a lot more fun doing things. Like, I utilize the CFE cheat, constrained floor elevation, and I've gotten way more comfortable with it, and I'm always super excited when I can find ways to utilize it in my builds. And I've been having a lot of fun exploring it, getting more comfortable with it. So yeah, every time I get to use it, I'm always super excited because I'm like, what can I do now? And I haven't even scratched the surface with the amount of things that you can do with CFE. Like, I know you can build like different levels, and there's just a lot of stuff you can do with CFE, which is a super handy cheat, and I love it so much. But yeah, basically this house is a tiny house. It is based off of an actual tiny house that exists in real life. This one is actually pretty popular, and I believe there's even like a video tour of this house. Like, the owner did a tour on YouTube, so it's available to go see. I have not watched the tour just because I didn't want it to influence the interior I did, but if you've seen it before, let me know how I did on matching the exterior as well as the interior. Let me know how you think I did. But this house has been sitting, the picture of this house, which I'll leave a picture up on the screen, the picture of this house has been sitting in my camera roll since I built up my Sims 3 tiny house, which, if you have not seen that video, I highly recommend it. It's actually, I think it's pretty funny. I tell a story time about my job as a flight attendant, so you should definitely go watch that one. But when I had originally went in to build a tiny house, I had this picture as well as the one that I built, or the house that I built. I kind of had these two styles in mind, and I've wanted to build this house for ages, or since then. So it's just been sitting there waiting for the day that it could be built. But anyway, this house is a tiny house. It has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and I absolutely adore the exterior. I think that is my strongest point with this house, the exterior, not so much the interior, specifically because I sort of gave up on it. You'll see in the footage that I go to decorate the kids' room, and then that's the end of the footage. Like, I pretty much gave up when it came to decorating the interior of this house. I don't think it matches either the style of this house or like the type of person that will live in this house, but look, I was over it by the time I got to the interior. Like, the interiors and furnishing that is not my jam. I love doing exteriors of houses. I love being creative on like what I'm gonna do on the outside. But when it comes to interiors, if I'm not building for a specific sim, then I don't really know how to design it. So yeah, that's the entire spiel about that. I don't have a name for this house yet, but it will be in the title, obviously. And this is a 30 by 30 lot in Sunset Valley. And yeah, I think that's everything you need to know about this house. We got about 20-minute video, so I guess while you guys get to enjoy the speed build, I guess I'll give you guys a little rundown on why my videos have been very inconsistent. Normally I had, on a normal day, I had a pretty consistent schedule. I would do uploads on Monday and Friday at the same time every day. And, in recent times, I haven't been able to do that. And there's a specific reason for it. A lot of you, unless you play Mac, you won't know. But a few people have noticed that I did play The Sims 3 on Mac. And you can tell by my intro that is something that is, specific to a Mac or Mac software. So hey to all my Mac peeps. But I do play The Sims 3 on Mac, and if you don't play the game on Mac, you won't know exactly what troubles we go through. Like, I know a lot of people complain about The Sims 3 and how badly written the code was. Like, that is the main issue with the game. The lag comes from the coding of the game. It's not really, everyone always says open world or the creative style, it causes lag. No, that is not the issue with the game. It is the way they coded the game, the routing. But yeah, that's besides the point. But a lot of people always mention how bad the game is written. But people don't realize, because they don't play on Mac OS, how badly written it was for Mac. Like, The Sims 3 on Mac, I guess let me compare it to The Sims 4, because that's the best way I can explain it. So The Sims 4 came out in, I believe, 2013. It came out on Windows in 2013, but it wasn't released until 2014 for Mac users. And the reason for this was because they were making the game native to Mac OS. So Mac OS and Windows OS are two different systems, two different two different systems, two different operating systems, basically. So they run very differently. So when you make apps for them, they have to run differently. Obviously, there are some things that are on Mac, like Final Cut Pro, that will not work on Windows, and there are some things on Windows OS that will not work on Mac, and that is because of the way they are built. Obviously, two different companies. Anyway, when they released Sims 3, they released it for both Mac and Windows at the same time, and the way they were able to do this was by cutting corners, which is what I think they did. Anyway, they basically released the same version of the game for both systems, which they shouldn't have done. The Sims 3 version, Mac version of the game, is the same Windows version, but they have it in a thing called a wrapper, which is, there's different versions for Mac, but it basically makes the application you're using, in this case The Sims 3, think it's running on a Windows computer instead of a Mac computer. So it's making the game think I'm using Windows software when I'm not. And there are a lot of limitations to doing things like this, especially for something as big as the Sims franchise. But basically, because of this, there are a lot of limitations to the game and to like us Mac players. So a lot of the updates that were given to the Mac players were not given to us because those things don't translate over the wrapper. So when the Mac or the Windows users got updates, we didn't receive those same updates. And when I say updates, like the patches. So there was some things like the 4 gigabyte patch. We never received that on Mac. And I believe that came with the 1.69 patch. And that allowed Windows users to utilize up to 4 gigabytes of RAM with the game. So for us on Mac, we're still stuck with the 2 gigabyte limitation, which pretty much causes all of the crashes, all of the issues with The Sims 3 on Mac. That is the reason why this game runs so terribly for us, because we never received the opportunity to have that 4 gigabyte patch. And we have this thing called the exception raised error, which is a crash. Like literally my game will crash at random times if there's something too heavy, like if I play in a world that's too large, or if Sims are, NPCs or townies, are out there doing their own thing. Like if someone's giving birth somewhere else or they adopt too many pets, it can cause my game to crash even though they're not on my lot or anything. So even things in the background that you don't know about can cause a crash because your game is only utilizing 2 gigs. It's even less than 2 gigabytes, to be honest. Your game is only utilizing 2 gigabytes of RAM, and that can cause a lot of issues if it's overloaded at any time. So even if your computer has 8 to 32 gigabytes of RAM, it is only going to utilize that too, which sucks because I have 16 gigabytes of RAM and I'm like, I want to utilize all of it or at least half of it, but I can't because I never received that patch. So that was the main issue, and they never bothered to fix it, and they just pretty much abandoned The Sims 3. They never bothered to finish a lot of the things or update a lot of things within Sims 3, and they just left it alone to release their new game. But anyway, thankfully, which, I mean, this is a good and bad thing, but Apple decided to release a new OS called Catalina. And because of this update, this is the only reason we will get an update for The Sims 3, just because of what Apple did. So thankfully, Apple decided to take this upon themselves, which, I mean, it wasn't because of The Sims 3, it was their own choosing. But they released a new OS system called Catalina. And with Catalina, they dropped the support for 32-bit applications. So you are only allowed to run 64-bit applications on Catalina, which, I mean, I don't know all the technical stuff. I am a basic player. Like, I don't know anything about I don't know a lot about computers. I know some basic things, but when it comes to OS and knowing all that good stuff, I don't know exactly. But I believe with 64-bit stuff, you are allowed to access more RAM, and that is the issue with Sims 3. It's a 32-bit application, so it can't access all of the RAM that your computer has, which definitely sucks if you're someone that has a lot of RAM on your computer, has all this power, you can't utilize any of it. So basically, Apple dropped that support when they released Catalina. So now, for all Mac people who buy either new Macs or who have updated to Catalina, we are no longer able to play The Sims 3 because The Sims 3 is a 32-bit application. And, EA doesn't like to admit this, but they still make a lot of money from The Sims 3, whether it's the Sims 3 store, which, I mean, there's some people out there like me who are still obsessed with it. I never got to buy those items when I was younger, so now that I can, I'm like, click, click, click. I have so many points, which is embarrassing, but they still make a lot of money off of this game, like selling it, the Sims 3 store, all that stuff. So I know they still want to continue to sell it, so they decided to release an update, that way people can still have access to their game. So this update will make the game Sims 3 native to Mac OS like the Sims 4 is. So hopefully those limitations on the RAM will go away. Hopefully the exception raise will forever be gone. Like, I cannot wait until the day I can boot up Sims 3 on my Mac and not have to worry about exception raised. Guys, it'll be a beautiful, beautiful day. But yeah, basically that is what they're doing. They did release an announcement in October, and they said it would be coming, or should be expected, in early 2020. Obviously, we are in August of 2020, so this is not early anymore, but things happen. COVID happened, everything had to shut down, so people should definitely be patient. If you are a Mac player and you did update to Catalina and you are worried about that, you can tweet me on Twitter at NonRevSims. I have a link to a really good thread where they shared a lot of information on why it's taking a long time, as well as if you are open to boot camping your computer, which is what I did. I would highly recommend that. If you are open to that, or if you want to roll back your OS to like High Sierra or Mojave, because Sims 3 does work on those with the exception raise thing. If you want to do that, there are some really good resources on that thread on how to do that. But again, I would highly recommend anyone who is on Mac to boot camp their computer, which, if you don't know what that means, it is basically partitioning your hard drive. So you're going to take some space. I took about 100 gigabytes off of my hard drive to install Windows OS. That way I could play Sims 3, which, let me tell you, the Sims 3 Windows version and the Sims 3 Mac version are two different games, y'all. Literally, I have not had a single crash or anything crazy since I've installed the Sims 3 on the Windows version I think I did this in like May or June. I don't remember what month exactly, but we're in August. I haven't had a single crash. I crashed once, but that was because I was installing some CC, and it wasn't really the game's fault. It was a bad piece of CC, which, be careful installing CC, okay? But my game hasn't crashed at all, and I'm just like, imagine how nice the game could have been if this is what they would have done from the beginning, if they would have made the game native to Mac in the beginning. But, I can't complain now. It's been over 10 years, so it's the fact that they're going back to do this, which I really, really appreciate. I know there's a lot of people who are still buying the game now and who can't play the game, but I just gotta say, maybe get your refund now and then purchase the game later on, because I have a feeling they're gonna do a sale on the Sims 3 when that Mac OS update is released. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I would say if you are open to boot camping your computer, which again, I highly recommend, the game runs so much smoother on the Windows side than the Mac side. I've had no issues with it. The only issues I've had has to do with recording, which is why I haven't put up any videos. But that has nothing to do with playing the game. So if you're not someone who makes LPs or videos, then you don't need to worry about that. But again, highly recommend bootcamp your computer for now until they release that update. And then once they release the update, you can get rid of the ugly Windows OS, okay? Just you know, you're gonna have to put up with it for a little bit while you want to play your game, but when that's done, you don't have to worry about it ever again. But yeah, that is basically my entire issue with recording and uploading. It was because I can't really play my game. I haven't updated to Catalina yet, but I do plan on updating in the very near future, like within maybe August this month. So I wanted to make sure that everything would work well on the Windows side before I fully committed to updating, because once I update, I don't really plan on going back, and I will never be able to play Sims 3 on Catalina until they release the update. So that is my issue, or that was my issue. That's why I couldn't upload. I hope you all will forgive me. I did not abandon my LPs. Don't think that. I do plan on bringing those back, both Rags to Riches as well as the Baby Daddy Challenge. But again, it has taken me quite a bit of time to figure out all this technical stuff, because again, I am not the most tech savvy person. Like, I know the basic stuff, but when it comes to, you know, things that are super intrusive on my computer, I don't know. Like, even me doing the bootcamp thing, I almost erased my entire hard drive because I was just like, can this be done? But anyway, yeah, that is the entire thing. So if you didn't know, if you're not someone that plays on Mac, you wouldn't know, obviously. But for those of us on Mac, we're out here suffering, okay? We're suffering. But it's okay, y'all. We're gonna be good once the update comes out. So just be patient. Again, because of, you know, everything being shut down, workplaces being closed, they are having a more difficult time, you know, collaborating, getting things together, because everyone is at home, working from home. So it's not as easy as being in the same building, you know. Again, if you do need a link to that thread, please tweet me on Twitter and I can DM you the link. But yeah, that is basically all there is to know about my struggles recording and all that stuff. So I hope you guys will forgive me for not uploading. It was a lot to do and it was very frustrating at times, but now we're pretty good. So yeah, I do have 2 videos planned. One is already edited and ready to go, so it'll be coming out shortly after this video is out, and that one is a current household update, and yeah, that one will be coming out soon. And then there is a Create a Sim video where I pretty much made over one of the townies from my current household, that she'll be making an appearance in that current household pretty soon. So yeah, I have those 2 coming out. And then I do plan on bringing the Baby Daddy Challenge back first, and then shortly after that, Rags to Riches will be back. So that is my plan now. I don't have any specific dates because I still have to edit these 3 videos, and once those are out, then I can focus more on my LPs. And I do have a second LP planned. I'll give you guys a hint. If you watch my Create a Sim collab video with all those amazing Sims 3 simmers, I'll leave a link to that in the top right. But if you watch that video, you will know which one it is. It is one of my favorite expansions. I'm doing this to make up for the fail that was Generations. So my favorite expansion, I will be doing an LP, and let me know what you think it's gonna be. Like, comment down below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the update. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or let me know what you think my next LP will be, comment down below. And if you enjoy my content and you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one.